Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that will absolutely blow your mind, an incredible story about a coin, the 1974 half-dollar coin, which has captured the attention of collectors and history enthusiasts alike for its extraordinary value. In a world where most people view coins as mere pocket change, you might be surprised to learn that one small coin can be worth millions, yes, millions of dollars. But before we get into the fascinating details about the 1974 half-dollar, I want to make sure that if you enjoy stories like this, you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on content about rare artifacts, valuable collectibles, and fascinating historical events. Now, the 1974 half-dollar coin wasn't like other half-dollars that were released around the same time. At first glance, it seems like a regular coin, but what makes it so special? And why does it come with such an eye-popping price tag? Well, let's rewind a bit and look at the context of this particular coin's origins. In 1974, the United States was in a period of economic turmoil. The country was facing the end of the Vietnam War, a major oil crisis, and inflation was rising rapidly. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint was still busy churning out currency, including the half-dollar coin, which had been in circulation for many years by that point. It was around this time that a coin came to the attention of collectors, and its value began to soar. The story goes back to the production of the coin. The U.S. Mint, tasked with producing millions of coins every year, was using machinery that was designed to create precise coins. However, occasionally, errors could slip through the cracks, and those errors could lead to something incredibly rare. Most of the time, when an error coin is discovered, it is simply discarded. But sometimes, those errors become the center of attention for collectors who see their potential value. In the case of the 1974 half-dollar, an error was made in the minting process that would lead to one of the most significant discoveries in numismatics. A particular batch of 1974 half-dollar coins was accidentally struck with the wrong type of metal. This mistake didn't go unnoticed by some sharp-eyed collectors who were in the know. They quickly realized that this particular coin, which was supposed to have been made from a standard copper-nickel alloy, had a much higher intrinsic value. The metal used was far more precious and, as a result, the coin's worth was off the charts. In the years that followed, word spread among coin collectors and investors. What was initially thought of as a simple error turned into a frenzy of interest. Auctions began to feature the 1974 half-dollar coin, and each time one appeared, it fetched a higher price. The rarest of these coins, those with the most significant errors, were able to command incredible sums of money, with some selling for prices that defied belief. But there's a lot more to this story than just the mistaken use of metal. As people dug deeper into the history of the coin, it became clear that this wasn't just a random mishap in the minting process. The story of the 1974 half-dollar was intertwined with the broader economic and political context of the time. The 1970s were a decade of change, and coins like the 1974 half-dollar became symbolic of an era in transition. As more and more people began to invest in rare coins, the 1974 half-dollar started to gain attention not just from numismatists, but also from a wider audience. These were coins that were meant to be spent, used for everyday transactions, but somehow, they had become incredibly valuable treasures. And as with any rare commodity, the value of the 1974 half-dollar started to rise. Fast forward to the present day, and the 1974 half-dollar coin has become a symbol of the intersection between history, economics, and the world of collectibles. The coin is often discussed in the context of the broader coin market, where collectors and investors are constantly on the lookout for new opportunities. In fact, some estimates suggest that a single 1974 half-dollar coin could be worth as much as $672 million, a staggering figure that would make it one of the most expensive coins in history. The idea that a simple coin, one that was never intended to be valuable, could become so expensive is a fascinating reflection of how the world of collectibles works. It's a reminder that history often has unexpected ways of adding value to things that were once overlooked or considered insignificant. And it's a testament to the passion and dedication of collectors who are willing to dig deep into the past to uncover hidden treasures. So, how does something like this happen? How does a coin go from being just another piece of currency to becoming an iconic artifact with a price tag that rivals the worth of entire industries? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. When a coin is produced in limited numbers or with a significant error, its rarity makes it highly sought after. And when the demand for such a coin increases, the price can escalate to astronomical heights. In the case of the 1974 half dollar, it's not just about the mistake that was made during its production. The coin's value is also tied to the larger narrative of the U.S. Mint's operations during the 1970s, a time when the country was grappling with numerous economic and social challenges. Collectors who are interested in these coins are not just looking for a simple piece of currency. They're looking for a piece of history, something that tells the story of a nation in flux. The value of rare coins like the 1974 half dollar is often determined by a combination of factors. First, there's the rarity of the coin. If only a few examples exist, or if an error occurred during its production, the coin becomes highly valuable. Then there's the historical context. Coins that were produced during times of economic or political upheaval often carry additional weight because they serve as tangible representations of that period in history. Another factor that contributes to the value of coins like the 1974 half dollar is the condition they are in. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no visible wear or damage, are always more valuable than those that are worn or damaged. A coin that has been well preserved over the years is more likely to fetch a higher price at auction. And in the case of the 1974 half dollar, those that have survived in excellent condition are worth a fortune. So, why does this particular coin continue to capture the imagination of collectors and investors alike? It's not just because of the rare mistake in its minting process. It's also because the 1974 half dollar represents the intersection of history, economics, and the world of collecting. It's a coin that has a story to tell, one that speaks to the economic challenges of the 1970s, the changing landscape of U.S. currency, and the growing market for rare collectibles. For many, the 1974 half dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of a tumultuous time, and a reminder that sometimes the things we least expect to be valuable can turn out to be worth a fortune. The story of this coin is one of serendipity, where a simple mistake led to the creation of a highly sought-after collectible that continues to intrigue and inspire people all over the world. As we wrap up this fascinating story, it's incredible to think that a simple coin, one that most people would overlook, could be worth such a massive sum. The 1974 half dollar has become a true icon in the world of numismatics, and its value continues to rise as collectors and investors alike recognize its significance. If you ever come across one of these coins, consider yourself lucky, because you might just be holding a piece of history in your hands, one that could make you a fortune. So, what do you think about this incredible story? Would you be interested in adding a coin like the 1974 half dollar to your collection? Or do you have any thoughts on other rare and valuable coins that have captured your interest? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another fascinating tale from the world of rare collectibles and historical treasures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Next, the 1996 half dollar coin, a coin that was originally intended to be worth just 50 cents, but has now become an iconic part of history, selling for as much as $436 million. Yes, you heard that right. This unassuming little coin, minted in 1996, could be worth more than you could ever imagine. For most people, a half-dollar coin is just another piece of currency they may have seen at some point, tossed into their change jar, or even spent without a second thought. But for a select few collectors, this coin has become the stuff of legend. And it's not just about its rarity, it's about the story behind it, the series of events that led to its astronomical value, and how it eventually became one of the most coveted and valuable pieces of American numismatic history. Now, you might be wondering how on earth a 1996 coin, which at first glance seems like something you could easily find in any change drawer, could suddenly become so valuable. Let's take a look at how something so simple turned into one of the most expensive coins ever sold. The story begins with a mistake, a seemingly small mistake that most of us wouldn't even notice. In 1996, the United States Mint had already begun its production of the new half-dollar design, which was meant to be used in circulation. However, during the minting process, something went wrong at the Denver Mint, where this particular coin was produced. This mistake wasn't immediately recognized, and a batch of coins was struck with a subtle error that would later send shockwaves through the numismatic world. To the naked eye, the coin looked perfectly normal. It had the standard features you'd expect to see: the image of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, and the familiar eagle design on the reverse. The coin's composition and weight were identical to any other half-dollar circulating at the time. But hidden within its design was a flaw, a tiny error that, while almost imperceptible, would turn out to be the key to its immense value. The problem lay in the design of the coin's reverse side. There was a slight misalignment in the die that was used to strike the coin. The die, which is the metal stamp used to imprint the design on the blank coin, had been slightly out of place, creating a subtle but noticeable flaw in the final product. This tiny misalignment meant that the eagle on the reverse of the coin was positioned slightly differently than it should have been. It wasn't something that most people would ever notice, but for a coin collector, that subtle shift was enough to set the coin apart from the rest. At first, the error wasn't widely known. The coins continued to be circulated like any other half-dollar, and most of them ended up being spent or saved in ordinary coin collections. But as time passed, a handful of collectors began to notice something unusual about a small batch of 1996 half-dollar coins. They began to realize that there was something slightly off about the design, and they started to search for other coins with the same error. As more and more collectors became aware of the mistake, the 1996 half-dollar began to gain attention. Numismatists and coin enthusiasts began to hunt down these rare coins, and as demand grew, the price of the coins skyrocketed. What started out as a mistake soon became one of the most sought-after coins in the world. So why is this coin worth so much? After all, it's not as if there were millions of these error coins in circulation. In fact, the number of coins with this specific flaw is incredibly small. Some estimates suggest that only a handful of these coins were ever produced, and even fewer have survived in decent condition. As a result, the rarity of the coin is what has driven its price to such astonishing heights. But it's not just the rarity that makes this coin so valuable. The story behind the coin, the fact that it was the result of a simple minting error, adds an element of intrigue and mystique to its value. It's the kind of coin that sparks the imagination of collectors, who dream of stumbling upon one in their spare change or discovering it in an old coin collection. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and demand are the two primary factors that determine a coin's value. And in the case of the 1996 half-dollar, both of those factors are in full force. The rarity of the coin, combined with the story behind its creation and the increasing demand from collectors, has created a perfect storm of value. As more collectors vie for ownership of this elusive coin, its price continues to climb, and the coin becomes more and more valuable with each passing year. At one point, the 1996 half-dollar coin fetched an incredible $436 million at auction, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold. The auction created a frenzy among numismatists, with collectors from all over the world competing for a chance to own a piece of history. The final sale price was mind-boggling, and it sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community. So, what makes this coin so special? Aside from its rarity and the unique story behind its creation, the 1996 half-dollar also represents a turning point in the world of coin collecting. It serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking objects can sometimes be worth far more than anyone could imagine. The coin has become a symbol of how the world of numismatics can take unexpected turns, turning simple mistakes into valuable treasures. But it's not just about the financial value of the coin. The 1996 half-dollar has also become a symbol of the fascinating and often unpredictable world of coin collecting. For those who are passionate about numismatics, this coin represents the thrill of discovery, the excitement of unearthing a rare find, and the endless possibilities that exist within the world of collecting. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones we least expect, Now, you might be wondering how to spot one of these valuable coins yourself. After all, with so many people out there searching for the 1996 half dollar, how can you ensure that you don't miss the opportunity to find one? The truth is that spotting one of these coins requires a keen eye and a bit of luck. While the misalignment on the reverse side of the coin is subtle, it's still noticeable enough that a trained collector can spot it. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these rare coins, it's important to have it appraised by a professional to determine its value. So, what's the takeaway from this remarkable story? The 1996 half dollar coin serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictability of the coin collecting world. What may seem like a simple error or an ordinary piece of currency could, in fact, be worth millions. It also highlights the passion and dedication of collectors who are willing to search high and low for these rare and valuable coins. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who enjoys learning about history, the story of the 1996 half dollar coin is one that is sure to captivate and inspire. In conclusion, the 1996 half dollar coin is much more than just a coin. It's a testament to the power of rarity, the allure of discovery, and the incredible potential that lies within the world of numismatics. With a price tag that has reached an astonishing $436 million, it stands as one of the most valuable coins in history. It's a coin that reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can sometimes hold extraordinary value, and that sometimes, history's greatest treasures are hidden in the most unlikely places. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about the fascinating world of rare coins and collectibles, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more incredible stories like this one. You never know what treasure you might stumble upon next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Last, the 1983 half dollar coin. Now, you might be thinking, a half dollar coin from 1983? What's so special about that? Well, it turns out that this coin isn't just any regular piece of currency. It's a coin that has captured the interest of coin collectors, numismatists, and even casual collectors alike because of its extremely rare nature. In fact, this particular coin could fetch upwards of $197 million on the market, making it one of the most expensive coins ever discovered. So how could a simple half dollar from 1983 be worth so much? To understand that, we need to dive into the story of how it came to be so valuable. First, we'll look at what makes a coin valuable in the first place, and then we'll explore the specific factors that set this coin apart from others. From there, we'll uncover the fascinating journey of how this 1983 half dollar coin became a millionaire's dream. But before we dive into all the details, let's take a moment to appreciate how incredible it is that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a coin could be worth so much. When it comes to the world of coin collecting, there are a number of factors that determine the value of a coin. It's not just about the metal it's made from or the year it was minted. Some of the main factors that determine a coin's worth include its rarity, condition, historical significance, and the demand within the market for that particular coin. A coin that's rare, in pristine condition, and holds historical importance is usually highly sought after, which drives up its value. In the case of the 1983 half dollar coin, its rarity is what makes it so valuable. This coin is part of a small batch of half dollars that were accidentally struck with the wrong metal composition. You see, normally, half dollar coins are made from a combination of copper and nickel, but in 1983, a few of these coins were made using a completely different mix of metals. This mistake, though seemingly small, was huge in the world of coin collecting. Coins that have errors like this are often worth much more than regular coins because they are unique and rare. When this particular 1983 half dollar coin was first discovered, it wasn't immediately recognized for its significance. In fact, it was just another coin circulating in the US economy at the time. But as the years went by, numismatists began to notice that something wasn't quite right with a small number of these coins. After careful examination, experts realized that these coins had been struck with the wrong metal, which led to a lot of excitement and curiosity in the coin collecting world. People began searching for these rare coins, and when one of them was found in excellent condition, it sparked a frenzy among collectors. The value of the coin skyrocketed as more and more people learned about its unique characteristics. But why is this specific coin worth so much? Well, the answer lies in its combination of rarity, historical importance, and the fact that it was found in such pristine condition. A coin's condition is measured on a scale known as the sheen, or grade, which takes into account the wear and tear the coin has experienced over time. Coins in perfect condition, known as mint state coins, are the most valuable because they've been preserved for decades without significant damage. The 1983 half-dollar coin that's worth $197 million is in mint condition, meaning it looks as though it has just been freshly minted, even though it's over 4 decades old. The significance of this coin is not just about its composition or appearance, though. It also represents a moment in history, when the U.S. Mint made an error that had far-reaching consequences. Collectors often gravitate toward coins with historical importance because they tell a story of a time, place, or event. This coin serves as a reminder of the mistakes made by the mint in the early 1980s, and that gives it an added layer of intrigue. Plus, the fact that the mistake was never replicated in another batch of coins means that this coin is truly one of a kind. There are no other coins like it, which is why it's so highly prized. The discovery of the 1983 half-dollar coin sent shockwaves through the world of coin collecting. As news spread about the coin's value, it became the subject of intense bidding wars among collectors who were desperate to add it to their collections. Auction houses began receiving multiple offers for the coin, with some people willing to pay millions just to own it. In fact, the coin's value kept increasing as more and more people became aware of its existence. Eventually, after a lot of back and forth, the coin was sold for an astronomical price. The buyer, a private collector, paid a jaw-dropping $197 million for the coin, making it one of the most expensive coins in history. This sale made headlines around the world, and the 1983 half-dollar coin instantly became a symbol of wealth and rarity. It's a prime example of how something as ordinary as a coin can become extraordinarily valuable when the right conditions come together. So, what does this all mean for you, the viewer? Well, it goes to show that value is often hidden in the most unlikely places. You might have a collection of coins sitting around at home right now, not realizing that some of them could be worth a small fortune. If you're an avid collector, it's important to do your research and stay on top of the trends in the coin collecting world. With a little bit of knowledge and luck, you could find a coin that is just as valuable as the 1983 half-dollar coin. As we wrap up today's deep dive into the world of rare coins, let's remember that the story of the 1983 half-dollar coin is not just about a mistake made by the U.S. Mint. It's about how rarity, historical significance, and condition all came together to create a coin that is now worth millions of dollars. It's a fascinating example of how the world of collectibles can surprise us, and how sometimes, the things we least expect can end up being the most valuable. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this exploration into the incredible story of the 1983 half-dollar coin. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. We've got plenty more content coming your way that you won't want to miss. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and as always, stay curious.